With a population of over 150 million people, Nigeria stands as Africa's most populous country. It is made up of diverse ethnic groups and cultures and having more than 500 different languages. Before the coming of the colonial masters, the Nigeria we know was a land of separate kingdoms, but with the coming of the imperialists came measures of these kingdoms to become the northern and southern protectorates. Finally, in 1914, Lord Lugard, then at the helm of affairs in the area, amalgamated the two protectorates. Nigeria was born. Of the 150 million Nigerians, 75% of the population is rural and agrarian, while the other 25% lives in cities. With the oil money not easy to catch and the agric sector relegated to the background with all its attendant consequences, poverty increased. Households surviving on $1 or less per day increased, and the once happy and confident people became hungry, sick, and far from the thresholds of power.
Try and actually, first of all, do a survey of some of these things. We're using various techniques, and we now come to a point whereby we now know that, for example, maybe in Sokoto State, maybe there's a donor-funded project for contraceptive funded by USAID. We want to know how that project has actually gone, actually feed the pulse of the supposed beneficiaries, if they're actually benefiting from that program and things like that. Then also the coalition is also involved in trying to see that, because we cannot be everywhere at the same time, especially at the community level, trying to identify some community-based organizations.
All measures to return the spirit of the former Nigeria to life proved abortive, and well-meaning Nigerians began to think outside the box to see where lay the problem, and it was discovered that government could not go it alone. It was this desire to get everyone to participate in shaping the destiny of a nation that gave birth to Poverty Alleviation Crusaders (PAC) in 2001, a non-profit, non-partisan, non-governmental organization to advance community development and environmental management.
It's a similar case with what is happening in the oil-producing region of Nigeria, where I happen to come from. A lot of oil companies say that they are giving royalties, they are giving grant, they are doing a lot of things. Meanwhile, there's still a lot of agitation in the community. They say they are not doing anything. And that is why the Nigeria Extractive Transparency Initiative came on board to carry out that project. And luckily enough, we were also part of that campaign. The same ideology, that's what we are bringing into the family planning and reproductive health. That if you say you are doing this, if it's technical support you are giving, let everybody know. If it's civil society that have collected grant from you, publish it. Publish the area they are supposed to be serving, so that the beneficiaries of that project will be aware that this project is in their locality and this is what they are supposed to get.
The PAC, now and hereafter known as Poverty Alleviation Network and Dependence Initiative (PANSD), utilizes advocacy, trainings, community mobilizations, skill acquisitions, enlightenment campaigns, capacity building activities, and direct intervention in actualizing its vision and mission. PANSD is also known to apply Geographic Information System (GIS) in health and environmental projects, assisting CBOs with services and trainings. It is also an actor of the United Nations Global Movement for the Framework for Culture of Peace and Nonviolence for Children of the World, Debate to Action Nigeria for achieving the Millennium Development Goals (MDGs) in Nigeria, and generally believes that in working together, Nigeria could be the El Dorado of our dreams. Its doors are open for contributions from all quarters for the onerous task of redefining Nigeria in more positive terms.
The best we can do is to work with government to improve the facilities they have. And that's why we have our intervention in infrastructure. Currently, we are working with government to improve the power supply in this country. But you should know that this is an international organization. We cannot take over the running of government for themselves. But we employ you to demand for this information, and then we will try and provide the information. You know, whatever money we give out, there may be millions of activities that could have been done.
PANSD's vision of creating an equitable society by systematically changing the socio-economic conditions of the rural poor, the vulnerable and marginalized, and promote sustainable living and social justice is paying off, but a lot more is still undone. It believes poverty can be eliminated in all ramifications, the less privileged can be empowered, people need to be sensitized on job creation, and self-dependence should be advocated. To do this, PANSD involves everybody, the traditional institution, elitist class, and all stakeholders, permeating communities, mobilizing, training, and carrying the crusade for self-reliance, transparency, and job and wealth creation.
Some feedback safely with mates, will achieve good erosion. Then I have a dog issues, they're just simple cultural practices. You know, I mean, only kill with the Himalaya. So I'm in a site here. I like to say, I like because I like to say, but is the landslide. Yes, the name now formerly before about farmland, the name but because I don't see, I never got one. So actually, you know, I need the idea. Can they marry Kalana? No, you bring my own erosion, Kalama, at the lower level, I have real erosion. Erosion, I have control before I have into police.
Registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, PANSD is a collaborating NGO with the Nigerian National Commission for UNESCO, Federal Ministry of Education, General Education Support Service Division, National Planning Commission. It has been engaged for the past 5 years in utilizing biodiversity for poverty alleviation, sanitation, hygiene and water for community healthy living project, drilling boreholes and building local water system toilets in selected communities in Nigeria, environmental agro projects, utilizing GIS for environmental assessment of environmental degradation of lands in eastern Nigeria, and soil reclamation of eroded farmlands. They also improve farmers' productivity and income. On the whole, PANSD is in all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, but with concentration on one state in each zone.
The President General of the Women Wing and her office will take care of whatever you want to sell as long as fertilizer is concerned. So that when you carry a fertilizer to them, they will be properly accounted for. Women will control the sales through the President General and her office.
In 2009, PANSD got a grant from the money well spent of the Tide Foundation to carry out Publish What You Pay in Family Planning and Reproductive Health subsection in Nigeria. This was to promote honesty, accountability, and transparency through public disclosure so that funds given to FPRH for reproductive health purposes will not be misappropriated but used according to purpose. PANSD not only mobilizes communities but also civil society groups. They have succeeded so far in forming a coalition called Coalition for Change in the FPRH subsector in Nigeria, and it also is involved in monitoring what funds go from where to where and for what, ensuring that it achieves its aims.